Okay, so you need to find the distance between all these different sides. So I would list them out and just like call them what the 2 points are. You got AD, AB, BC, CD. Everybody with me so far? Now we're going to use the distance formula. So that's up on the board if you forgot, but just in case, it's x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. And now we're going to plug in. So for this one, A to D, this is going to be x1, y1, and this one's going to be x2, y2. So we're just going to substitute that in. So this is going to give me 4 minus 1 squared plus 0 minus 4 squared. And now we're going to simplify. Or you can plug that straight into your calculator. You're going to see that that gives you 16 plus 9, and that's going to be the square root of 25, which is 5. So this has a side length of 5. Everybody see how I did that? Because you're going to have to do this on your test tomorrow. This is a very similar question to one that's on your test. Okay, let's do AB. Now, AB, this is going to be x1, y1, and this is going to be x2, y2. I'm going to plug in. -3 minus 1 squared plus 1 minus 4 squared. What's that going to give us, Sean? That's going to also give us 5. Okay, what do we know about a square? What do we know about the sides of a square? They're all going to be the same. So up here at the top, it says show whether the following figure is a square. So what we're looking for here is that all sides are the same. What you have to show on your test is this stuff, like plugging it in, okay? Like, obviously, I know that it's a square. You can see that. But if you don't show me, it's not enough proof. Cool? They also tell us that they have 4 right angles. We're going to talk about that in just a second. Go ahead and do BC and CD. Plug in. Okay, so BC, BC is going to give us -3 minus 0 squared plus 1 minus -3 squared. If I plug this into my calculator, I should get 5. Okay. Sebastian, did you flip them? Okay, did you get the same result? Okay, you need to get 5. That means that something on your signs is wrong. Even if you would have put this number first, so 0 minus -3, that would have been 0 plus 3. Yeah. Okay, from C to D, that's going to give me 4 minus 0 squared plus 0 minus -3. Remember, that's going to make that positive squared. When I simplify that, that's going to give me 5. Okay, the other thing, and this is one thing that we haven't really, we've gone over it, but it's a little tricky. So if we're trying to prove that something is a right angle, that means that the slopes have to be perpendicular to each other. What does perpendicular mean? They intersect. What about the slope? What are they going to be? Negative? Nope, nothing. Nope, not congruent. Oh, parallel means that they have the same slope. Perpendicular means what? That they have negative. No. There it is. Negative reciprocals of each other. Remember, reciprocal means to flip. I totally spelled that. Reciprocal. We're going with it. Okay. So we're going to find the slope of this line and then the slope of this line. Okay, you ready to watch? Okay, from here to here, let's find the slope. We count up 1, 2, 3. And we go over 1, 2, 3, 4. This has a slope of 3 over 4. With me so far? We just did this line. Now, for this line BC, we're going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to go over 1, 2, 3. So this is -4/3. Do you notice how these are inverses of each other? Like the fraction is literally flipped and it changed the sign. Yep. If you want to do it that way, that's fine. From here to here? No, because look, rise, overrun. Okay, same thing's going to happen over here. This is going to have a slope of 3/4, and this is going to have a slope of -4/3. This is how you prove right angles. You're going to need that for geometry. So remember, midpoint formula, that's going to be x1 plus x2 divided by 2, comma, y1 plus y2 divided by 2. This is finding the middle of the line segment. So right here, we have 2 points, this one right here, and this one right here, and you need to find the middle. So this point is -2, 5. This point over here is 3, -3. Everybody good so far? Okay, so now we're going to plug these points in. So this is going to be my x1, y1. This is going to be my x2, y2. It's okay if you flip those. That's okay. When I plug in, I'm going to get -2 plus 3 divided by 2, and 5 plus -3 divided by 2. When I simplify, I get 1/2 and 2/2. So this is going to give me 1/2, 1. When I look at my graph and I plot that point, is that halfway between those two black dots? Yes. Okay, so on the next one, we've got blue. Okay, we've got -2, -5, and then we've got 5, -4. When we plug this in, we're going to get -2 plus 5 divided by 2, and then we're going to get -4 plus -5 divided by 2. When we simplify that, that's going to give us 3/2, or you could have put 1.5. That's okay. 1/2. Yeah. And then the other one's going to be -9/2, or that's going to be -4.5. That's fine. Again, -4 and 1/2. To whether endpoint or midpoint. So this is what we found in the last problem. Now they want us to find what x2 is. So right here we got x1, y1, and now we need to find x2, y2. So we're going to set this up. We're going to use this -9. We're going to use this 6. So we're going to have -9 plus x2 divided by 2 equals 6. Does everybody see why I set it up like that? Okay. So it's almost like we have this point and we have this point, but we don't know what this is. We're trying to find the other side. So now if we solve this, we're going to multiply by 2. And that's going to give us -9 plus x sub 2 equals 12. How do we move that -9 to the other side? We add. Why are we adding and not subtracting? We're trying to zero this out, or we're trying to do the opposite sign of that. What's 12 plus 9? Really bad sometimes. All right. Then we're going to do the y's. So we got -2 plus y2 divided by 2 equals -2. Does everybody see where I got those numbers from? Again, we're going to solve for that y sub 2 by multiplying by 2. So 2 times 2, 2 times -2 is -4. We're going to add 2. And that gives us -2. Now, we're not done because we have to write this out as a final answer. So if you just put this on your paper, is wrong. You need to put this as an ordered pair. So 21, -2. Because that's what we got for our x, and that's what we got for our y. If you don't show this work, you don't get credit. Okay. Can you try B? So I got 11 comma negative 11. Is that what you got? Whoa. I would check that again. Okay. So I got 11 comma negative 11. Okay. Number 16, I don't like this question. It is on your test though. So I need you to like think this through with me because it's really tricky. Okay. Are we ready? All right. Number 16, I don't like this question. I actually was adamant about it not being on the test, but it's okay. I got outvoted. All right. So on here, we've got these values, A, B, C. So we've got this equation, AX plus BY equals C. This is standard form, okay? We just don't see it that often. Now it has a slope of 2 and needs to go through the point 5 comma 3. I want you to ignore the standard crap really quick. And you know how we have the point slope form? Like we have this formula, right? We've seen this before. Let's go ahead and plug in the information that we have. We have a slope of 2 and we got a 0.5 comma 3. So let's plug that in. Y minus 3 equals 2 times x minus 5. Everybody see how I plug that in? Okay, so now we're going to distribute this 2, and that's going to give me y minus 3 equals 2x minus 10. Again, good so far. You just plug in and multiply. Okay, so now we want it to be written like this. So this means that we need to get the x on this side, this number on that side. So we're just needing to rearrange it basically. So we're going to add this 3. And that's going to give me y equals 2x minus 7. But now we need to get that 2x to the other side. So that's going to be y minus 2x equals negative 7. Now this looks like that thing up at the top, right? So A would be negative 2, B would be 1, and C would be negative 7. You could get some other answers as well. What's up? What do you want? 0. Yeah, it's just 0. 0 times anything gives you 0. What? I'm not a fan of this question. And there's a couple different ways you could have done this, but this is how I would do it. If you got another way, just let me know. As long as you can kind of prove why those numbers should be that way, then you should be good. Where'd I get 1 from? Because what's in front of y? 1. Okay. Questions, comments, concerns? How do I switch what? 2 and 2 places. A is 0 and B is 1. Okay, first of all, kill. All right, Sebastian. Sebastian, what was your question? Oh, okay.
Shut your mouth.
Okay, run to the page. Almost done. Okay, I know that it's kind of hard to see your map. So here it is in color. Go ahead and take a moment. On part A, listen, on part A, it's asking for you to find the east entrance to the animal store and use the distance formula. Okay, so animal store is like right here, this little dot. And then the east entrance is right here. East is to the right. Here's just a geography lesson. North, east, southwest. So east is to your right. Just in case you ever wondered. So go ahead and find the distance between these 2 points. Look at the bottom, it tells you the numbers, and on the side there's numbers. You're finding the distance. So use the distance formula on that. Let's go over A really quick. So I've listed out the points for those 2 locations. And so now we're going to plug them into the distance formula. So that's going to give me 26 minus 23 squared plus 9 minus 7 squared. So that's going to give me 3 squared, which is 9, and 2 squared, which is 4. So this gives me a square root of 13. Is that what you got? I need you to check my work, because like sometimes I make mistakes too. Why what? Travis is at the west location, and then it's trying to meet Janelle halfway between that and the animal store. So looking at this again, I'm going to get rid of this. All right, so we're doing B. That's where we're at. Okay, so part B, and we're finding the midpoint. Okay, so animal store is right here at 23,7, and then the west entrance is at 0,5. So we're going to find the midpoint. That's going to be 0 plus 23 divided by 2, and then 5 plus 7 divided by 2. So that's going to give me 23 over 2 and 12 over 2, which is 6. So 23 over 2 and 6. Question. Okay. So that was B. Okay. Go ahead and read over C, and we're going to talk about it in just a second. All right, so on here, it says Janelle and Travis decide to go to different stores. Janelle goes from the cell phone store and then to the Purse Express. So let's find those 2 places. Cell phone store. Where are you at? Is it higher up?
One time I seen a cell phone store get robbed.
Oh, okay. All right, so cell phone store is right here. Sorry. And then Purse store is right here. Now, if Travis starts at 17.5 and then travels a parallel route to Janelle's, then what would that look like? So we first have to find the slope of Janelle. That means we're going to go down 2 and over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We went down 2 and then over 6. So that's negative 1/3 as our slope. But we want an equation with this starting point. So we're going to use point slope. And that's going to give us y minus 5 equals negative 1/3 times x minus 17. Ta-da! This is part C. Now, D, I think, asks you for a perpendicular, right? Yes, somebody confirm that? Okay. So that's going to be y minus 5 equals positive 3 because we're flipping that fraction times x minus 17.